Today on the Becoming Unique podcast, I have such an amazing soul here by the name of Jeffrey. Welcome.
Hello, Unique. How are you?
I am amazing. And I hope the same is for you.
Oh, definitely. I'm amazing.
Amazing there. You're
And you could be
topping
the amazingest.
me. Yes. So before we even get the show started, you got to let everyone know who is Jeffrey.
Jeffrey Vincent Noble. Jeffrey Noble is a man on a mission and has been for the last 30 years. And that mission is to educate, motivate, and empower people. To
Mm,
educate them, for them to recognize that they are a unique expression of the divine. To motivate them to accept the responsibility of being that unique expression of the divine and continue to study, learn, whatever they have to do to nurture the gifts that was given to them, because we were all loaded and coded with everything we need to be a success and a meaningful reflection of the divine. So once they are motivated and they realize who they are and what they are, then they can become empowered to not only empower their own lives, but to empower the lives of their family and their communities. That's
mm.
what Jeffrey Noble is, a man on a mission to educate, motivate, and empower.
Wow. Oh, that's so powerful. You are a man on a mission. I absolutely love that. And I feel like this is the first time I ever got a description like that before. Because you took it out of self and you're expressing how you are here to share what you have. And I absolutely love that because
It's
I
not
really
about me. It's
Mhm.
not about me at all.
Yes, because I truly believe that we come here to share what we have. So, and I absolutely love that you're on the mission to share and empower and help people get to to that divine place that they've been encoded with, like you said. Absolutely amazing. I absolutely love this. So, you are a healer. And have you always been a healer?
We are all healers.
Mm,
All of us are healers. Most of us are wounded healers, but we're all
mm,
healers.
yes.
We've all had our stuff. We've all had our problems, our disappointments, our letdowns, our fears, our doubts, our worries. We've all experienced those things in our life, but we are all healers. Healing is built into the body by the divine. In other words, if you fall down and you scratch your arm, it's going to heal. The
Mm-hmm.
blood's going to clot first. After a while, scab is going to come on, and then the scab will fall off, and your elbow will be healed.
Mm,
Now, if you pull the scab off early, the body's intelligence knows enough to say, hey, listen, you pulled me off a little too early. I'm going to do another scab. And it'll
mm-hmm.
continue going to scab over and over again until you allow it the time needed for it to properly heal. So we are all healers. It's just a matter of whether you nurture that gift within you because the gift is already given to you at birth.
That's powerful. That's powerful that you empowered all of us to understand that the healing is within us.
Right.
And that was a beautiful example that you gave how, we're watching things heal within ourselves all the time. And to know that we do have that power within us. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Again,
Welcome.
you took it out of self and then gave it to us. So I like this. I like this. So I just recently learned about Noble Healing, which is your facility. And, I'm pretty clueless. So you're going to have to fill me in and fill all of us in. What is Noble Healings? What is it about? How did it come about? You can start wherever you want to start with it, but school us.
Well, there's no such thing as noble healing, first of all.
Oh, I'm sorry.
People say that all the time. Don't be sorry. People call us the truth and healing. We have
Uh-huh.
all kinds of names, but the name of the company is really The Noble Touch.
Oh, the Noble Touch.
The
Sorry
Noble
about
Touch,
that.
right?
Yes.
Noble Touch is an organization which I like to call a family of people who've heeded the call, of helping to reduce the suffering in this world of our people and of people in general, but of our people specifically. Um, and so they've come, and I teach different technologies, different methodologies, different arts to help them, first of all, recognize the divine in them, and then be able to recognize in other people so they can go out and make a difference in people's lives by helping them to heal and develop the gifts that they already have, to nurture the gifts they already have, so they can become a better person for themselves, for their families, for the community, and for the world. So the Noble Touch is actually a group of healers, what I call a family of healers, that I've trained over the last, let's say, some of them 15 years or more, to go out there and make a difference in people's lives by helping them to unleash the divine within them and the
Mm-hmm.
responsibility that comes with that. So that's what Noble Touch is. We've done work with people on 6 continents out of 7.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of work we do is remote, and meaning you don't have to be in front of us to do it. The 2 methodologies that we use basically that I teach are neuro-linguistic programming, NLP, but it's neuro-linguistic programming. And the other modality that I teach is called Pranic Healing. Those are the 2 modalities that I teach. So everyone that comes through the Noble Touch learns Pranic Healing. Everyone that comes through learns Pranic Healing. Now, what is Pranic Healing? Good question. I saw it in your eyes.
Well, it sounds like prana,
Prana, right?
because
Life
I'm a
force,
yogi. So, life force. Yeah.
right?
Okay. Yeah.
Healing. So it's healing with prana, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Pranic healing goes into a large umbrella, much like Reiki, that's energy medicine. They're all under the umbrella of energy medicine. Reiki, healing touch, therapeutic touch, Donna Eden School, Barbara Brennan. They're all under the umbrella of energy medicine.
Mm-hmm.
Energy medicine is really the missing link in today's modern healthcare system. And what I mean by that, the modern healthcare system treats the body,
Mm-hmm.
basically the chemicals in the body, the blood, everything's a test. If they
Mm-hmm.
don't test something, they don't know what's going on, basically.
Mm-hmm.
When we look at energy medicine, we're looking at working on the spiritual anatomy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it is the spiritual anatomy of the energy body that informs the physical body.
Mm-hmm.
So if you take care of the energy body, the physical body will heal.
Mm-hmm.
Because most stuff starts, not most stuff, all all energy blockages start in the energy body first, and they come into the physical body.
Mm-hmm.
And much of the diseases starts with being at dis-ease mentally.
Yeah.
That causes a dis-ease physically. Modern medicine is now starting to recognize that 80%, 90% of all major illnesses are stress related.
Mm-hmm.
And that stress related is because of repressed emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Feelings buried alive never die. And we're all good at burying our feelings. And then they pop up as something else later on. I've worked with people who've had tumors and people who've had fibroids, all types of things, and they had them removed 2 or 3 times. But it's
Mm-hmm.
not until you find the cause
The
that
root.
you really get rid of it, the root, that you really get rid of it forever.
Mm.
And so the Noble Touch, we do things like that. We look for the root cause of all the, whatever the presenting problem may be, so we can do a more complete healing. And once again, we focus more on the spiritual anatomy, or what they call the energy body. Some people call it the biofield, the electromagnetic field, like all these names for it, but it's the same thing. I like to refer to it as the spiritual body. Because if our
Mm-hmm.
physical body is sick, our soul is also sick. So the
Mm.
thing is to heal the soul by healing the spiritual anatomy.
Yes.
That's pranic healing. Now, pranic healing also involves the chakras. You've heard of chakras before, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So the chakras in the spiritual anatomy is equivalent to the organs in the physical anatomy.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's something wrong with any organ in your body, it's something wrong with that corresponding chakra also.
Mm-hmm.
So we're like the chakra doctors. We balance and clean the chakras so that the physical body will respond in the most appropriate way. And we
Yeah.
worked on everything, like almost any illness you can name, we probably worked on, or some derivative of it.
Mm.
So that's basically what pranic healing is. It helps to rebalance the spiritual body. I know people say, well, I do gong baths and I do meditations and I do all these other things, but most of the times that may relieve some of the energy that's attached to the chakras, but
Mm.
doesn't do a deep cleansing of the chakras.
Mm.
With
Yeah.
energy medicine, with pranic healing specifically, you do a deep cleansing of the chakras. It's like almost like um, I'm not going to, I'll say it's not like psychic surgery, but it's like you go in deeper and clean the chakras. And besides that, most systems, as you know, have 7 chakras.
Mm-hmm.
Pranic healing basic is 11 chakras.
Okay.
And then you got many chakras and minor chakras also.
Mm-hmm.
We look at a different level. That's why some people say that, that's why Joanne said that pranic healing is so much power, more powerful than Reiki. It's
Mm.
not that it's more powerful than Reiki, it's that it's more detailed than Reiki.
Mm,
That's more like it was more detailed than Reiki, because it depends on the healer also. You can have a very powerful Reiki healer, you can have a very powerful pranic healer. It
mm,
just depends on what you want. And personally, what I did to tell you the truth, Unique, is I went to the different systems. I had Reiki done on me, I had pranic healing done on me, I had healing touch done on me, I had therapeutic touch. I went to decide what I wanted to do. And I
mm-hmm.
found for me personally, pranic healing was the most powerful and the results lasted the longest.
Wow.
So that's why I went with pranic healing.
Wow.
That's how I choose what I was going to go with.
This is powerful. This is truly powerful. And thank you for everything that you said. I took so many notes, but I can't even you just said so many powerful things. And thank you for just confirming that about the disease in the body that causes disease, because at the end of the day, no matter what, we can keep trying to put makeup on all the things that's going on with us, but until we hit that root, it's going to keep resurfacing in some type of way. So the power of just getting to the root. And I would love to know, what does a pranic healing session look like? So I
Well,
come in and I'm like, hey, I want to experience a pranic healing with this. So can you explain to me what it looks like?
well, if you came in for a pranic healing session, you said to me, "Hey, I want to have a session." I would, I would, I would say, "What are you here for? Is there anything
Mm-hmm.
particular you want to work on?" And then
Mm-hmm.
you would tell me what you want to work on if there was something you wanted to work on. And then what I would do is I would explain pranic healing to you. I would explain what happens in the body. I would explain that I like to explain chakras, which are like whirling energy centers in the body. Like to call them gateways also.
Mm-hmm.
And I would explain to you that first of all, if there's any illness in your body, anyways, because these things are stuck.
Yeah.
It's like having a fan that's spinning around and around and around, and you get a certain volume of air out of the fan, and then
Mm.
all of a sudden somebody puts a coat over the fan, so the
Yeah.
amount of air that comes out the fan is decreased. They put
Yeah.
another coat over the fan, it's more decreased. So now you're creating an environment for toxins to come into your body and to disrupt your equilibrium.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So wherever that pain is, wherever that discomfort is, it means those fans are not working properly.
Yeah.
So what I will be doing in this session, Unique, is I will be checking your body, checking those fans, seeing which ones need to be adjusted so that your body can go back into equilibrium again. So your body can be balanced again. So I can balance all the chakras for you. And then what you will more than likely feel is you'll feel relief from any pain you have. If it's something that's been bothering you mentally, your head will be a lot clearer. You may be able to think about the situation, but the feeling won't be there anymore, depending on what it is we're working on, because some things take more than one session. Um, and when you leave, you'll feel lighter. I will also tell you not to take a bath or shower for at least 7 to 8 hours, depending on what it is that we do, because we want the energy to soak in. Because
Mm.
when you do energy work, there's something called lag time, Unique. And the lag times mean it's like taking a aspirin for pain. The pain
Mm-hmm.
doesn't go away right away. It slowly starts to go away to the pain is gone for at least 3 to 4 hours, however it lasts. With energy medicine, the same thing. When I send energy to you, you will feel it slightly now, but later on, as you go on throughout the day, you'll know you feel better and better. And normally, the next day, you feel even better because the energy had time to metabolize in your system. So it
Okay.
looks like you're sitting down, and depending on what I'm working on, I may have you listen to a meditation tape.
Mm-hmm.
One called "I Am the Soul." It may be something called "Twin Hearts," but something that's going to accentuate the healing work that I'm doing.
Mm-hmm.
And you sit back and you relax. You probably fall asleep like most people do. You'll
Mm-hmm.
wake up feeling a lot lighter. The pain will be decreased if it's pain. Whatever it's bothering you will be diminished if not gone all the way.
Mm-hmm.
And that usually takes about an hour.
And so when you say you work on the person, you're working with them with no touch, and you're just basically taking your hands and just working with energy on them. And so if they say they're having stomach issues all the time, I don't know, some type of we're making something up. Or if you want to give us an example of some type of issue, then you're just working in that area with your energy.
Well, they may say to me, "Well, Jeff, I have a lot of headaches, right?
Okay.
And my head is hurting right here. I have a lot of migraines, and my head is hurting right here." So the first
Mm-hmm.
thing I would do is I always pray first. That's number one, and invoke for help.
Mm-hmm.
Then I would
Oh.
start measuring their head. I would measure the chakras. Because the
Mm-hmm.
chakras can be there are four conditions of the chakras that most systems don't teach about. They can be overactivated or underactivated. they can be depleted or they can be congested. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
measuring to see whether or not the chakras are overactivated or underactivated, depleted
Mm-hmm.
or congested. That's the first thing I'm doing. So I'll take my hands, which will become my instruments now. These are like fine-tuned instruments. And I measure the different chakras in their body to see which ones are out of balance.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell you right now, if it's a migraine headache, most people think about the head. I will relieve 50% of the migraine headache by working on the stomach.
Mm-hmm.
Because the solar plex area, that hollow area between the ribs, is the area where you store a lot of negative emotions.
Mm-hmm.
And migraines are emotional also. So if you
Mm-hmm.
don't clear up the migraine, if you don't clear up the solar plex chakra, you just work on the head, it'll go away, but it'll come back very quickly.
Yeah.
So you have to
Mm-hmm.
work on the solar plex also. But that's
Yeah.
what I would do. I would just work on those particular areas.
Mm-hmm. So, okay, so they feel good. So when they leave and going into the next few hours and maybe a few days, they're feeling good. They're like, oh, wow, this was an amazing session. I feel good. Now, we discussed about getting to the root a few moments ago. If they didn't like deal with whatever trauma they've been dealing with them holding all this energy within their gut, throughout life, they're maybe not speaking up when they should, or whatever the case is, for them to have all of this maybe resentment and feelings in them that's causing this headache all the time, what work do they have to do? Do they have to put in any work, or do they just rely on your touch or your non-touch of energy to
That's a
take care of
non-touch. The
them?
noble touch that doesn't touch, right?
Yeah.
It depends once again on what they're coming in for. I can have them think about what bothers them. Because when you think about things, you ever seen a cartoon before? I mean, a cartoon with the little, like little bubbles with words in them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's real. We have
Mm.
these thought forms in our aura all over the place.
Yeah.
So I can have them think about what they think is the cause, which normally they're wrong about what they think is the cause, by the way. And I
Mm-hmm.
can disperse all those thought forms so they just kind of like they're not there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They can pull them back if they continue trying to think about it again and again and again, but they won't be there when they leave the session, that's for sure. And they probably won't come back for days if it comes back at all.
Yeah.
But now, so that's one way of doing it. Or I can clean the past. So I can
Mm-hmm.
actually have them think about their past and just clean the past of all the trauma they think about energetically. Because see, the key is everything is energy. That's
Mm-hmm.
the key. Everything is energy.
Yeah.
So you realize that everything is energy, they can go back and think about anything they want to think about, and I can help them to eliminate their energy.
Mm-hmm.
I say, normally I say, seek, destroy, obliterate, dissolve, and disintegrate all negative thought forms into these elementals. It's what I normally say to help them go back and clean up all that stuff. That's
Mm-hmm.
doing it the pranic healing way. So you're not as involved in the pranic healing way, except for thinking the thoughts. That's it. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so you think the thoughts from the past, what happened, the traumas from the past, no matter what it is. I help to disintegrate the thought forms that continue to magnetize those beliefs and those attitudes and those reactions to that experience. I
Mm-hmm.
begin to disintegrate them. Once again, it's going to be done through the meditation you're listening to and through me actually doing it with my hands. All right, you with me?
So as they're getting a session, you're asking them to bring those thoughts up front. So
Yes.
since they're up front within the session, then you're able to attack them. You can
Yes.
spiritually
I love them into disintegration. I love them into disintegration.
I love them into, okay. Yes,
All
I
right.
like that. Yes, send them love. Okay. It's
Now,
mhm.
NLP wise, I do it totally different.
In a what?
If I use NLP, I mentioned NLP and pranic healing
Okay.
that I
Okay.
teach.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone goes through the pranic healing course first, and they go through the NLP courses. That's a much longer, more intense course.
Mm-hmm.
That's 6 months, 1 week in a month for 6 months,
Mm,
and then you're a licensed practitioner. Um, Now with that, the way I would do it is I would tell you to think about the feeling that's associated to the event.
mm-hmm.
So let's say you have a issue of abandonment, something I
Mm-hmm.
run into sometimes, often actually. And so when someone leaves, whether it's a relationship, whether it's your kids, no matter what happens, someone seems to not be just trying to leave your life that was meaningful to you, you feel a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
So the question, how do you know to feel that way? Somewhere in your past, you learned to feel that when this person leaves, you have associated a meaning to it. And that meaning that you associate to it causes discomfort or pain,
Mm-hmm.
emotional pain. So
Yeah.
it's a number of ways to do it when I use NLP. I may go back, have the person go back before that experience happens. So let's say
Mm-hmm.
that experience that caused you the discomfort happened when you were 2 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say 5 years old, make it easier. If you go back in time to when you were 4 years old, the experience hasn't happened yet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. The experience, the significant emotional experience started when you were 5 years old.
Yeah.
If I have you do age regression or imagine going back through visualization to you were 4 years old, it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
Now we know that time is a construct of the conscious mind. At the unconscious level, there's no such thing as time.
Mm-hmm.
We're in an eternal now.
Yeah.
So if I collapse time when you're 4 years old, guess what? The emotion disappears. Then
Oh,
they
okay.
have you reprogram. What would you have liked to? How would you like to respond instead?
Wow.
And you actually reprogram your entire past with the new way you would want it to respond in all the situations between when you were 4 years old and to adulthood, and
Mm-hmm.
what you had was still responding in that negative way gets automatically updated.
Wow. Wow, this is really, really powerful.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
Now what about if a person's unaware of what their trauma was? Like they're running around in the world being angry or being maybe abusive, and they just don't know where it comes from. We see their actions like as an outsider or with them, they constantly keep getting in trouble. They keep, things are happening, but they don't know where they're not in awareness with themselves to dig back, and they need to probably do a lot of shadow work and stuff like that to get there. So how can assess, like, do you like take them in and like really work through them to kind of help them dig to that place to get there before doing the healing, or do you just jump straight into the healing? Like, because I feel like a lot of people will be very unaware that they're doing stuff, and it doesn't always have to be violently. They could be unaware that they're having people take advantage of them all the time. They're just thinking they're a nice person, and so they won't bring that to the table. They just think I'm nice, or but people yet are taking advantage of them, and somehow they're subconsciously, it's eating them up. So what happens in those
Eating
scenarios?
them up. I like that. Eating them up. That's a metaphor. When people give me stuff like when people give me words like that, eating them up, I use that for their healing.
Mm-hmm. Well,
'Cause-
they wouldn't probably say it because
no,
they
what I'm
don't
saying, no,
do
but
it.
people do
Yeah.
say stuff like that though.
Okay.
People give me all. I feel like I'm sinking in quicksand. I feel like there's
Mm-hmm.
a block in front of me. I feel like
Yeah.
somebody's pulling me back. I hear all these metaphors, and then it gives me how to heal them.
Mm,
People normally tell me how to heal them.
okay.
So when there's people that say, "Well, Jeff, I don't know where to start. I just get this feeling."
Mm-hmm.
I say, "Great. How long have you been getting the feeling?" They may say something like, "I've been getting it for about 15, 14 years now." I say,
Mm.
"That's fantastic. So you've mastered it. You know how to have this feeling." So there's a part of you that knows how to hold on to a feeling for 15 years
Yeah.
because it's been doing it for 15 years. So that part of you understands, it has tenacity to hold on to this feeling for 15 years. So what if
Mm-hmm.
we just re-pointed that part of you into another direction? What if you want to hold on to feelings good about yourself for 15 years? What if we
Mm-hmm.
want to hold on to good habits for 15 years? There's a
Yeah.
party that already knows how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of them getting that part to point to another direction.
Mm.
Now, sometimes it's just a feeling they want to get rid of. So they may say, well, Jeff, once again, I had this feeling for 15 years. I may say, great. Then what we do, because they don't know what happened, they just know they have this feeling automatically. They don't know where it's coming from, where it started. They just know they get this bad feeling in their body somewhere. So then what I have them do is I'll tell them to trace the feeling. So
Mm-hmm.
then I'll tell them to put their hand on the feeling in their body and
Mm-hmm.
continue going back in time. 5 years, 5 more years, 5 more years, 5 more years, 5 more years, whatever it is, until the feeling is no longer there.
Mm-hmm.
Because the feeling was created somewhere in your past. So you
Yeah.
get beyond the feeling. And then once they get beyond the feeling, they usually put their hands down to let me know they're beyond the feeling. Then I'll ask them, what would you rather have instead? And
Mm-hmm.
once again, we'll collapse the energy there, and then we'll reprogram the from before the feeling occurred and come forward in time again. So for
Mm-hmm.
people who cannot find it, don't know what it is, but they know they just have this feeling that seems random, then what I do is I have them just focus on the feeling instead. And I don't want to know the story. I'm not interested in people's narratives.
Yeah.
No, traditional therapy, they come in, they talk, they talk, they talk, they talk, they talk. I'm not interested in narratives because the narrative does nothing more but dig a deeper groove into the neurology. You say it
Mhm.
over and over and over and over again. I'm
Yeah.
not trying to dig it any deeper. I'm trying to, I'll put it this way. When people come to me a lot of times, they're in what I call, they come to me usually when they're desperate because no one else can help them. Um,
Mhm.
but I call, when they come to me in a hypnotic state.
Mm.
So my job is to dehypnotize them,
Mm.
stop these habits, these thoughts that they seem to have no control over.
Mm.
See, the difference between NLP and talking therapy is this. If have you ever been to therapy before?
Mm. I mean, a little bit. I think when I was a kid, like
Okay.
family therapy and stuff like that. But yeah,
Okay. I want to know. So if you went to a therapist and you say, I'm depressed, what's the therapist's first question?
why are you depressed?
Right. I don't want to
Mhm.
know why. I don't want to know why. It doesn't matter why you're depressed. The question is, how do you do depression?
Mhm.
In other words, what are you doing inside your head? What kind of pictures are you making inside your head? What type of
Yeah.
things are you saying to yourself that's caused you to feel depression or this
Mm.
thing we're calling depression? That's
Yeah.
what I want to know.
Yeah.
Because if I can figure out how you're doing it, what you're doing inside your head, then I can help reverse it. I can
Mhm.
deconstruct it. But if I don't know
Yeah.
what you're doing, that's why it takes people so long. I always give this example of a woman recently that came to me that she felt guilty and bad about her son being, he got shot. Okay.
Mhm.
And he died. And she felt guilty and everything else about it. And she was going to therapy once a week for 17 years.
Mm.
Once a week, that's a lot of time.
Yeah. To keep revisit.
And we did it in about 25 minutes
Wow.
because we didn't want to know, once again, why you're depressed, why you
Yeah.
feel guilty. And he said, oh, I want to know, what are you doing inside your head? And once
Mhm.
I find out what you're doing inside your head, I can teach you how to deconstruct it so you can think about it and be neutral and not carrying this guilt and everything else with you for another 17 years.
So and so 25 minutes is she and so she has coming back to you like a year later and or whatever amount of time later and says, wow, you've healed me. I've let that go.
She became a healer.
Oh, she became a healer.
She decided to study it herself.
Mm-hmm.
And she
Yeah.
saw the impact it had on her. She decided to come study herself, and she brought her daughter. Her daughter's a healer too now.
Oh, amazing. Now, just kind of going off to the healer side, and this is energy, and we have our own energy and so on. And sometimes, we're carrying a lot of stuff. And and so then and with a healer, does a healer like let's say they going through some stuff in their life on their own or whatever it is, some drama and stuff, and they got that stuff up in their cells. Does that affect their healing?
It depends. People ask me that question all the time. It
Mm-hmm.
depends whether you believe you're being the heal, whether you're doing the healing, or whether you're being used to do the healing.
Yeah.
If your ego's involved, you think you're doing the healing, I'm
Yeah,
doing all the
yeah,
healing work, then it's different. Then this stuff is gonna be affected.
yeah.
If you feel that you're being a vehicle or
A
vessel
vehicle.
for the
Mm-hmm.
healing energy, then what's going to happen is that as you're doing the energy, as you're doing the healing, that you have to become purified.
Mm-hmm.
Your stuff has to be, released.
Yeah.
Your stuff, you're going to be healing yourself as you're healing the other person. So
Mm-hmm.
then it doesn't affect them as much at all. I mean, you could be, I've had people that said to me, well, Jeff, if I'm sick, should I come and do healing? I don't feel good today. And I'll say, well, come out anyway. And if you don't feel good after you work with a person or two, I'll work with you while you're here. And if you don't feel good after healing a person or two, go home. I said, but if God is using you, if the divine is using you to heal, you're going to be able to heal because you're being used as the vessel. You are not the vessel. You're being used as a vessel
Mm-hmm.
to promote the healing. So yes,
Yeah.
you can still, but I always encourage my students, and that's why we have PDs, meaning personal development days for my healers and everything else. I always encourage them to let's get our stuff out the way.
Yeah.
Because when our stuff's out the way, it makes us a more powerful vessel to be used. It's one thing to have stuff in the way and divine still uses you in spite of your stuff. And we all have stuff. I'm not perfect. Oh, I
Yeah.
am perfect. I'm perfectly imperfect. So,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
so we all have stuff, but it's different when your channel is clear to begin with
Mm-hmm.
and the divine using you have even more power to heal and you'll heal faster.
Wow. That's amazing. My next question was going to be like, if I'm a healer, will I take in their energy?
You can. It's possible.
And it's like how do I work with that, because and every body is designed differently. And I don't know if you know human design.
I know of human design.
Okay, so within human design, there are different energy types,
Right.
and I'm a projector, and
I'm a what am I? I'm a projector and a manifester or something, I think.
you're well, it wouldn't be both. It would be a manifested generator.
Okay.
You could be the only one that's combined would be manifesting generator. So
Okay.
which is kind of like my favorite, but I shouldn't. I have to embrace who I am. So
Well, that's what I am, the manifest. I know I'm the two combined.
okay, you're the manifesting generator, which is a beautiful one to have. So you got the energy source and you have like the qualities of like the non-energy type. So there's two types. So there's the non-energy and there's the energy being. So I'm a non-energy one. So
Mhm.
which means I have an open sacral. So, because when you look at the chart, it's all the different chakras and stuff like that. So, with me having an open sacral, I absorb. So, I have to be that's why also I have to be mindful of my energy, because if I walk in the room with you, I'm just eating your energy up. You could be doing nothing, but because my sacral is so open, I'm able to eat up energy. So that's why I'm like with me, like let's say if I did this, I was just wondering. So I wonder like how would that combine, because within the human design, which I do feel all the time throughout my life, like once I got a reading, it was able to confirm how I've been feeling my whole life because of having that open energy center. And I have to, and with my type, when I get home, like I have to like detox the day. I have to go into stillness. And that's another thing about me. People like my husband really want to have music and blasting, and I have to sit in stillness because my stillness allows me to detox the energy that I just took in from the outside. I may be tangering off into a different place. So I was just wondering about how, a person, like are they able to take in this other person's energy as they're healing them? But yeah, you said some people can and some people, and then like you probably are able to keep it, on the outside.
Well, the
Um,
whole key is the strength of your spiritual body, your energy
mhm,
body. That's the whole key, the strength of your energy body. If your energy body is very strong, it's harder for the other energies to penetrate. You may be aware of them, but it's the difference of being aware of them penetrating. In other words, you can talk on the telephone and someone is very depressed, and you're
mm.
talking to them, and you feel great when you get on the phone with them. But when you finish, they feel great, but you're really tired
Yeah.
because you've
They call
taken
it
it in.
energy vampire.
Right. And that's what I call them, energy vampires.
Yeah,
However, if you're already strong enough, you can talk to them, it's not going to affect you as much. So
yeah.
sometimes it's a matter of our aura being strong enough. Sometimes it's a matter of what we believe, what we actually believe. And
Hmm.
people who are they're taking the energies, got to learn to protect themselves better and cleanse themselves. And we're very big, unlike most of the other systems of energy medicine, we're very big in the spiritual hygiene.
Mm,
Like I can tell if something's on me or if I feel somebody's energy on me. If I
mm,
try to go to bed, someone's energy is on me, I'm very restless.
mm,
So I'll get up, I'll take a shower, I'll burn incense, and I'll play Om. Or I
mm,
may do either one of them, depending on how much I feel it. But there are different types of showers that we can take, a bath we can take to help get people's energy off of us also.
mm. Okay.
Including just flushing yourself with certain color lights will help disintegrate other people's energies that may stick to you. Because, I mean, I may do 14 sessions in one day. So it's almost impossible for me not to get something.
Yeah.
It's like you carry an umbrella in the rain, but your feet may still get wet, or your pants may still get wet.
Yeah.
No matter how
Yeah.
protected you are, there's still something that may get to you. And you
Yeah.
just gotta be aware of that and be able to protect yourself from that to make sure you get it off you. Otherwise, you will be suffering from other people's conditions to some extent.
Yeah. As a healer, yeah, to be mindful of,
And very
what
mindful.
you need
And
to.
cutting cords. You have to cut the cords because you're connected to everyone. You
Hmm.
connect to all these people. And you have to remember every day to cut your cords, to cut the
Mm,
connection so that they're not sucking energy from you.
mm.
I'm guilty of forgetting to do that sometimes. And then someone on my team say, Jeff, did you cut your cords today? I'm like, oh no, I forgot. And it feels like, ah,
Okay, so how do you cut the cords like that? I'm cutting the cords. How
well,
do you cut
not
the
quite
cord?
like that, but you put your hand up, you come down, and like this becomes the knife.
Okay. So you're
And
envisioning a knife.
right, and your palm is facing you.
The palm is facing me.
Right. So you come down, right, and you just go across your body with the intention of cutting and disconnecting from all unwanted, unauthorized connections.
Okay. Okay, so that's good to for me. That's good to know because
Front of your body and the back of your body and the sides of your body. The
say that
front,
last.
back, the front of your body, the back of your body, and the sides of your body. Some cords can be attached to your organs. They can be attached anywhere in your eyes, your brain.
Mm,
Women who are attractive, men may look at your breast and be feeding on that. Men, they may
yeah.
look, any part that a man looks at and they kind of lusting, or a woman looks at, or anyone looks at,
Hmm.
they kind of lusting, can cause a cord to you immediately. It
Exactly.
won't be a strong cord.
Hmm.
It could disappear, in an hour or whatever it may be. But if it's someone who sees every day that's doing that, the cord
Hmm.
would be a little stronger, maybe thicker.
Hmm.
So you
Okay.
got to disconnect those cords.
Thank you for that because I've been trying to work on practicing protecting myself before I walk out the door.
How
Um
do you protect yourself, Unique?
I golden light, I put myself in a bubble. I say some mantras to myself to, to try to protect myself, and also saying things like, if sending any energy that doesn't belong to me back to the sender with love, and just being mindful to say some not affirmations, more mantras to myself as I'm before I walk out the door. I'm not consistent, but that's what I'm working on more because of, like I said, I know my energy is very absorbing. So I want to see how I can just really try to start protecting it. And as every person is different. So everyone's gonna have to find out
Good
what
for
works
them, right?
for them.
Exactly.
Other people they could probably go out there and energy's just bouncing off of them and they don't absorb it as someone else may absorb it. So someone can be mindful, like if they're coming home, they're drained, they're holding on to other people's energy, what do we need to do to, like you said, cleanse yourself every day of that and to bring awareness because all that stuff is sitting on us and we don't realize why we getting sick or why we don't feel good because it's not even us. We holding
Yep.
somebody else's garbage onto us and to be aware of it.
What I would suggest though for you specifically is, if I can,
Yeah.
you're already doing a great job, putting yourself in a bubble, protective bubble, golden light. I think the golden light, what I would probably do with the golden light, I would imagine being inside of the sun specifically.
Mm, okay. You
That's
I
the sun. It's golden kind of, so it's
Yeah,
almost the
yeah.
same thing. But I would also being inside this, I'm protected inside the bubble per se.
Mm-mm.
I also make sure that I have a extra protection around the sacral area. So
That's
you
good.
so you're inside the gold, but inside
Mhm.
the gold, you have another layer of gold that's protecting the area which the energy is being drained from,
Yeah.
or
Hmm.
where energy is being picked up at. So it's like a
Yeah.
layer on top of a layer.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you for that because to be mindful because I know that area is open for me, so I'm
Right.
gonna
So you want to shield
protect.
that area specifically as well as your whole body.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And then I do it sometimes also when I'm on the train. If I feel energy that I may not want to feel, I'll put myself in a bubble instantly.
No,
You know,
walk in the bubble. Don't wait till you get on the train. By then they already got you.
okay.
You know, walk. You want to walk in the bubble and you want to put the bubble down where you're going to sit at in the seat. Because the sacral
Mm,
area is the one that's very exposed, and you're sitting in that seat that someone else sat in. You don't know what kind of energy they had there.
yeah,
So you want
exactly.
to make sure that that seat that you kind of imagine that seat being infused with
Protected.
that golden energy also. So you sit on that golden energy, or you can wear silk panties.
Okay.
That does
So,
not pick up energy. It protects you from energy.
oh wow. So tell us about that a little more. So fabric helps with energy as well too.
Yeah, silk specifically. And maybe other fabrics also, but I've only experimented with silk, where it blocks energy.
Silk. Okay. So if I have a silk dress on, it's
Yes,
blocking energy as well too.
yes.
Okay. Do any other fabrics have any influence with energy?
I can't say from experience, so I'm not gonna, try to make up something because I only know the one I experiment with personally, and I had my students experiment with was silk.
Okay. Oh wow. Oh, that's definitely some amazing information that I'm definitely going to take advantage of. Oh my goodness. Like you have been schooling us with so much information and so many jewels. I feel like just speaking to you just is just you share so much. I feel like
I'm here to give.
it's enlightenment. That's what it is. It's like you are shining the light on us. And I really,
Educate, motivate, and empower.
huh?
Educate, motivate, and empower.
Yes, I absolutely, absolutely love this. I feel like we could probably keep digging and digging and digging more, but I feel like you have given us so much to work with for today and so much to start to look into. So where is your facility located?
We're at 1110 Fulton Street between Franklin and Claver. It's
Mhm.
1110 Fulton between Franklin and Claver. Our number there is 347-240-4940. That's 347. I gotta visualize it.
Mhm.
240
I'll have,
4940.
I'll
And
have
our
it.
website is
Show me.
thenoblетouch.org. Because we're 501c3 nonprofit organization.
Okay. So you do healing there, and then your all of your healers are located at the facility, or when once someone becomes a practitioner, well, becomes certified with you, they can just go out and do their own independent thing and just call it their thing, or is everyone working under your umbrella?
No, there are a lot of students that I have that went out and started doing their own thing. Then there are a lot that were under my umbrella per se. Um,
Mm-hmm.
it's probably smarter to still do your own thing, but stay connected. Some of the students have become kind of disconnected, and those are the ones that's kind of having a harder time because they're
Mm-hmm.
not getting the upgrades, they're not getting the additional
Yeah.
information. They got what they got, and they just start running out there trying to teach it, and
Mm-hmm.
but they haven't paid the dues.
Yeah.
I've been doing this for over 30 years. And my
Mm-hmm.
first certification in neurolinguistic program was in 1988. And
Mm-hmm.
my first certification in energy medicine was in 1994.
Mm-hmm.
So I've paid the dues.
Yeah.
I've done it in churches. I've done it all over the place. But some people nowadays, some of the people, they'll take the course, go on YouTube and want to become gurus, you
Yeah.
know, without
Exactly. Yeah.
paying the dues. And those people are normally having a harder time than the people who still do their own thing, but they're
Mm-hmm.
connected to a bigger body, which is the organization. So you got the spiritual
Mm-hmm.
protection of the organization, and rather than just going out there on your own trying to do it. But I support them no matter what they want to be. They call me, ask me a question, I help them. My
Yeah.
goal is to help people become better at whatever it is that they want to do and that they're doing in their life to be able to empower people. You have
Mm-hmm.
to have the heart of a warrior,
Mm-hmm.
but the spirit of a servant
Mm.
to be really good. You have to have the heart of a warrior, but no, I'm sorry, the spirit of a warrior, but the heart of a servant.
Okay, okay. Yeah, but you both ways sounded good.
Right. And that's what we do. We also have a lot of free stuff we do in the community.
Mm,
So the first, second, and third Monday, we have the teleconferences, which are free.
mm-hmm,
Telehealing, rather. The first, second, and third Monday of every month is free telehealing.
mm-hmm,
The first and third Wednesday of every month is free healing inside our center. You can come in person. On
mm-hmm,
the first 3 Mondays, you're on Zoom. But
mm,
on this first and third Wednesday, you are in person.
mm,
Then for our seniors, the ones I love the most, we have every single Wednesday from 1 o'clock until 2 o'clock. We have healing for the seniors,
mm,
and that's all on Zoom.
mm,
When they Zoom, they have a party. Seniors have a party because first they have the exercise, which is yoga normally, or some type of form of exercise. Then they do the healing. Then they have like a gospel hour almost. They have
mm,
a worship service after that, basically. So we have
mm,
that going on for the seniors. The first Sunday of every month, we have what's called the Success is Your Birthright. That's what I'm on
mm,
teaching to the general public. It's not just for this, for the general public. I'm teaching things about personal development, success, goal setting, whatever it may be, finding your purpose, rewriting your narrative, releasing your
mm,
past. So I'm talking all kinds of things that I've been teaching over 10 years on teleconferences. Then the
mm.
first Saturday, see, we do a lot of work. Then the first
Yeah.
Saturday of every month, we have what's called the I Am Fellowship, which is our
Mm,
version, what people call our version of church. Because
mm,
I find that it's important for us to be able to continue to grow spiritually. And me being ordained as a minister, as the minister of healing and transformation, probably the only one, from what I hear, there's never been anyone ordained in the church as a minister of healing and transformation. They got
Mm,
ministers of dance, ministers of music, ministers of this, but not healing, which I find real strange because Jesus is a healer. But at the
hmm.
same time, I'm not uber religious.
Yeah.
I'm not one of those people that hit you in the head the Bible and everything else. I'm more into spirituality than I
Yeah.
am to traditional religion.
Hmm.
Which got me in trouble in the church, and that's why some of them asked me to leave. But anyway, that's another story. My whole thing is healing people. I
Mm,
live to transform lives. That's my purpose for
wow.
being here.
Wow.
So we
So,
have all those different things going on that people can check our website at info at the noble. Oh, I'm sorry, the nobletouch.org to find out what's coming up and what they can participate in. But we do a lot of free stuff for the community. And the
wow.
center has healers. You asked about that also. Healers can work inside the center. If they
Hmm.
set up an appointment, they can come in the center and work there, or they can work on their own through Zoom.
Mm,
So some work inside the center, some work through Zoom, some do both. I
mm,
do both. Probably 80% of my clients I work with remotely. Another 20% I may see in person. And I
mm,
always guarantee it the first time you see me, you're going to get a result. It
mm,
may not be the permanent result, but you're going to
mhm.
know something shifted from the first time you see me. That's my goal, and that's my promise to people. Something's going to happen. It's
Wow.
not about me.
Yeah.
I can get my ego out the way and then get their ego out the way, our personalities, and realize that they are a spark of the divine and I am a spark of the divine. And when those two communicate,
Hmm.
then the healing is going to occur. If my soul is talking to your soul and your soul's open and your soul's talking to my soul, healing is going to occur. It doesn't have a choice. It's not
Mm,
about you, it's not about me, it's about what our souls want.
yeah. Beautiful. So does the person have to be open? Because like if a skeptic comes, will they still receive the healing?
They will still see it. Well, it's interesting you say that. That's really interesting because what happens sometimes that people have been on medicine for 14 years, whatever, they never got a result. Then
Mm.
they'll come and see us, whether it's me or one of the other healers, and they'll say, "Oh, I guess the medicine finally kicked in."
Yeah.
So we get that quite a bit. As far as
Hmm.
people getting a result, even if they don't want one, um, I would say probably most of them get a result anyway.
Hmm.
They may be in denial, and then someone else will tell them that they're different before they realize it themselves
Yeah,
because
exactly.
they have an investment in being the way they are. There's
Hmm.
something called secondary gain. And if people have a
Hmm.
secondary reason to keep their problem, they're going to try to keep the problem. They're
Hmm.
not going to admit that it's better. I mean, I worked with a woman whose family all left town, so she was alone now.
Hmm.
She got sick one time, and when she knows that her kids were coming to see her more, she never wanted to get rid of that illness. She
Hmm.
got rid of it, but she would never admit she got rid of it because once again, now her kids are coming to see her more often. Whereas
Hmm.
before she hadn't seen them in years.
Yeah.
So that's what's called secondary gain. Why do I want to give this up? Now I'm having company more often for my children because I'm sick.
Hmm.
But when she
Yeah.
wasn't sick, it wasn't happening. So there's secondary gain, but most people come in, even if they don't want to change. I have a way of trying to, healing is also about sales. You have to love people beyond their ability to love themselves.
Hmm.
And when you love
Yeah.
someone beyond their ability to love themselves, they begin to finally melt. They finally begin to give in to the love that you're sharing with them. Because love heals everything.
Hmm.
So
Yes.
everything we do is from a point of love. All healing we do is from a point of love.
Hmm. Wow, beautiful. So, okay. So much amazing information. And then it's beautiful that we are in the day and age that we're in where you don't have to, we have Zoom and, other ways of communicating. So you don't have to be in Brooklyn to receive the beautiful offerings that you have to give.
Six
So
continents. We've done healing on 6 continents.
amazing.
6. And we're going to Africa in April to do healing in Africa and
Okay,
Senegal.
so you're bringing a bunch of healers with you or
18.
okay, so 18 healers, and you guys are going. So, what are you going to do in Africa? You're going to go to a village, or is it like do they know you're coming?
Well, they've been hearing that we're coming because the
Okay.
people, I've been to Africa before teaching.
Mm-hmm.
So they know that I'm coming, that we're coming. They just don't know how many people are coming with me. So we plan to
Okay.
do everything. We plan to do some cultural stuff,
Mm-hmm.
some fun stuff. some healing in the village, some working with the kids. Our agenda is not completely full, but I told the people that's come with me that this is 1/3 a healing trip. We're
Mm-hmm.
gonna go to the door of no return on the Gory Island and do some
Mm.
healing around ancestral healing around what happened there also while we're there.
Okay.
So we're
Wow.
gonna be doing a lot of healing work, but we also gonna have some little fun. Plus, there's a lot of women coming with me, so you're
Mm-hmm.
gonna want to go shopping.
Yeah.
They already asked for time for shopping, so we'll be doing
Beautiful.
shopping also.
Amazing. And for the people that are watching this on visually, you have a beautiful African painting or what African art piece behind you.
Right.
And before we close out the show, would you like to describe this art piece that you have behind you? It's absolutely amazing. So I know more people listen than really watch. So, but if you have the opportunity to tune in to watching the podcast, definitely check it out. So could you explain what's
Well,
behind you?
the artwork behind me is a piece from Chief Olarantoba, who was a Nigerian chief and was also a community healer in that community. And what he did and what he does, well, what he did when he was here, he's no longer in his body, is he would take the herbs that he used for healing. He would dye those pieces of cotton twill. He would take the cotton twill and dip it in the oil that he used for healing, or the
Mm,
herbs used for healing. Then he would construct the image. And
mm,
each piece of art has a different purpose, a different reason, different healing energy. And so I had met him. Well, I actually bought his artwork from someone else. And then I told the person that owned the gallery, her name was Lisa, I want to meet him when he comes into town. Because I walked into the gallery and immediately was drawn to it, like boom. And then art was behind the door. So I walked around and behind the door to find it. Because I felt the energy from it.
mhm,
And so I met him, he came into town and we talked, and he gave me, I can't find moves, I can't find it, but he described each piece of artwork I have and what it meant. And unfortunately, I
mhm.
can't find the tapes now.
Yeah.
But I have probably about 15 pieces of his art. He
Mm,
designed one for my healing office. And I have it in my healing office now on Fulton Street. And he just amazing. And the guy has artwork. Only wealthy people mostly have his artwork. Like you look at Muhammad Ali,
mm,
Andrew Young, there's kings and queens that have his artwork. But he
mm,
wanted to get to the normal people, he said. And so
mm.
I helped him bring it to the normal people, myself and the woman that opened the gallery, bring it to the normal people. And so when I got to know him, I got what's called family prices. That's why I have so many
Okay.
pieces, because I got the family discount. He's a
Nice.
wonderful person, Chief Olarantoba. He's online. I think there's a woman named Dorothy Rogers Art Gallery that may have some of his stuff still. I'm not sure who else has it, but if you buy it, do not put glass over it. You want the energy from the artwork to continue to ooze out the artwork into your environment. When
Mm,
you sensitize your hands, you walk into our space, you can do it like this and feel the energy coming from the artwork. Yeah, you literally
mm,
feel it. And people sat in front of it and cried. My ex-wife, she had lost a child, and she went and sat in front of one of the pieces of art, and she went from being hysterical to calm down in about 20 minutes, just sitting in
mm.
front of a piece of art.
Wow.
Because the healing energy is just coming off the artwork.
Mm. Wow.
So it's very
Amazing.
powerful artwork, very powerful artwork.
Oh, wow. I mean, hopefully I'll get to see it in person.
Come
Um,
by, come by, come on by. Where do you live?
yes, I live in New York. That's what I like to say.
Oh, I live in Harlem.
So, huh?
I live in Harlem.
Okay. You live in Harlem now?
I'm in Harlem right now.
Oh, nice. Oh, so you live in Harlem, but your office is in Brooklyn.
Yes.
Okay,
I
nice.
tried to
Nice.
find a place in Harlem, but it didn't come through. I really wanted my space to be in Harlem. That's where I'm from. That's where I live. That's where I was born.
Mm-hmm.
However, it didn't work out that way. Most of my healers live in Brooklyn, by the way. There's a lot of them I met at church where I was going to church in Brooklyn. And so I ended up in Brooklyn.
Oh, wow. So would you be open to open a second location in Harlem, or you're just going to keep your focus on one location?
Well, right now, since we just got this location, which has tremendously increased our overhead, because you went from having no space, no overhead, using churches and stuff like that, using centers, renting space all the time, to now having your own space, which increased our overhead about 4,000% because we didn't really have any before. So I do want to get back to Harlem. There's no doubt about it. I want a space in Harlem. I just have to take my time and make sure we can continue to grow this space first before we open another space and incur another monthly payment. Now, if there's
Okay.
somebody that wants to donate their space to us, that's a different ballgame. We definitely look at it for sure. So I definitely want to be in Harlem. And there's
Okay.
people that want me to be in Harlem that come from
Yeah.
Harlem all the way to Brooklyn and New Jersey to Brooklyn.
Yeah, yeah, that I think it's so needed in Harlem as well too,
Yes.
because a lot of times I feel like, especially I feel like sometimes when you're in Manhattan, you don't venture into the outer boroughs, but I feel like the outer boroughs always venture into Manhattan. So I feel
Um,
like the Manhattan Knights are kind of stuck here, and to have, and there's so much, I feel like a lot of people, and I'm one of them. that
I bleed Harlem.
yeah,
I was born in Harlem Hospital. So
yeah,
I'm
so was
Harlem like
I. Yeah.
all the way. All the way. I would love to have a place in Harlem. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking about changing my apartment around to make it our space in Harlem until we actually get a space. Then we set my
Nice.
office in Harlem until we actually get a
Okay.
space.
Yeah, yeah, because I feel like there would be, a whole nother community coming there as well too. Oh my goodness, so amazing. So I have to ask you my last question of the day because everybody gets this question, and that is, what does becoming unique mean to you?
Well, actually, it's not all of us are unique.
Mm-hmm.
All of us, we have these things called unique pieces of art, which they call masterpieces, right? And they got these artists, Da Vinci, what's the guy's name? Leonardo da Vinci, Van Gogh, all these guys that look like they threw paint on the
Yeah.
wall and they considered masterpieces, right? What we have to understand is that we are unique, that we are God's masterpiece. We are the masterpiece of the divine. So we are all made and we are all unique. We all
Yeah.
have certain gifts, talents, and blessings that we were born with that we can either use or not use as we go along this thing. So when you say, what makes me unique?
Mm-hmm.
The fact that I'm a child of divine makes me unique. The fact that I recognize that and I walk in that. It's one thing to know it, and it's one thing to quote the Bible, but it's one thing
Mm-hmm.
to be spiritual. And
Mm-hmm.
in being unique, you have to realize that sometimes being unique can be a disadvantage also. And
Mm-hmm.
what I mean is that people don't like unique people. The people that change the world are the unique people. The
Mm-hmm.
people that say, okay, I'm gonna create an airplane. I'm gonna create a bus. I'm gonna create a car. I'm gonna create healing for our people.
Mm-hmm.
When you step into your uniqueness, which is stepping into your divinity, it upsets people who haven't. And they don't
Mm-hmm.
understand you. They may try to ostracize you. They make you seem like you're crazy. But stepping into your uniqueness comes with responsibility and comes with a knowing that you're being used by the divine. So what makes me unique is my unique understanding of all that and putting it into play and actually trying to give other people the ability to recognize it in themselves and walk in their uniqueness also.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful. I absolutely love that. Um, yeah, and I love that you gave it to us again. You said you all have it. We all have it. It's within you, and it's okay to step out and be yourself and understand the responsibility that comes with it. I absolutely love that. Amazing, amazing, amazing. I know you did some beautiful healing today by sharing your voice, sharing your knowledge, sharing your energy with all of us today, and I appreciate you.
Okay, I appreciate you too. It was
Namaste.
fun. Namaste. Yeah, we said that a lot when I was in India. So I've been to India also. Pushing part?
Yeah. So wait a minute, we was about to close the show out, but you just informed me that every year you guys have a theme, and I would love to hear your themes.
Well, the theme for last year was you have not because you ask not,
Mm,
meaning that a lot of us don't have what we want because we're afraid to ask. So the question becomes, why are we afraid to ask?
mm,
Sometimes we feel we're not good enough, we're not smart enough. Children are made to be seen, not heard. So our creativity from our throat chakra has been blocked because of things we've been told. So we don't express ourselves the way we should. And we're also afraid of rejection. We're afraid of fears. We have all these fears that stop us or prevent us from asking for what we want. And then you have to ask the right person at the right time. Also, that also helps. But that was our theme last year. This year, our theme is the self-healing revolution. Because as this healthcare situation becomes worse and worse to some extent, we have to begin to take control of our own health. And there are lots of ways to do that. So our theme this year is the self-healing revolution, which I am charging or employing that every one of the healers and everyone in the world, period, begin to start taking your health into your hands. Don't just listen to what the doctor says, but see what the other alternatives are. I'm not saying don't go to traditional medicine. I'm saying go to traditional medicine, let them give you a diagnosis, and then find out whether there's something else you can use that can be complementary or integrated with it to accelerate your healing experience and your healing journey. So that's why this year it is, what did I just say? Oh, self-healing revolution is our
Mm.
theme for this year. So every year we have a different theme. I don't know what it's going to be next year because it comes through me, not to me.
Yes, I absolutely love it. I believe in both of you, like your last year's theme. I always say closed mouths don't get fed. So
Right.
I'm the one. I'm asking the questions. I'm it because the answer will always be no if we don't ask. But if we do ask for something, we do have the opportunity for the answer to be yes. And if it's no, so what? Like it's not gonna kill you. So just go out there and and be and know what you want and push for it. And I love this year's theme as well too, about and when you were saying this year's theme, I thought about one of my favorite quotes, which is where intention goes, energy will flow.
Right.
Where intention goes, energy will flow. So, like you said, don't just take what the doctor says. Like, pour energy into it. Like, okay, this is what's happening. Let me start digging deeper. And all of a sudden, you start opening all of these doors to other options that you may have for yourself, and then you can start the process of healing thyself, and so on. So, I absolutely love,
You
love,
know,
love that one.
you just described
Uh,
educate, motivate, and empower. You just described it.
yeah, yeah. I love it. I love it.
Educate
Yeah.
yourself about what's out there.
Mm-hmm.
Motivate yourself by looking it up and empower yourself by using it. You just described it in your words.
Yes. Exactly. Exactly. Oh my goodness. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You have been such a work, so much light. You have brought so much light to us today. And thank you for doing what you do and being, a light worker in this world and just sharing the light and letting us know that we all have the light within us.
Well,
And
if you ever want me to come on and just do a demonstration of
Mhm.
some of the healing energy where you have, your people can listen to it and feel the energy later on. I'm willing to do that if they ever want me to come on again, just talk about neuro-linguistic programming by itself, because that's a
Yeah.
whole conversation by itself. I can do that for you. Whatever I can do to help you help your audience, I'm willing to help you do. I'm willing to
Yes.
share.
Yes, I definitely will. Yeah. So now we have like the umbrella of, the noble touch. And now we'll start to dig into the other areas of it, in the
Mm.
future.